News, and Marcus Carlson is here for that update. First, to look at the economic angle of the crisis in Ukraine, Marcus.
Hi there, Claire. Hi there, everyone else. Yes, indeed. If we look at Ukraine and its turmoil, both ordinary Ukrainians and the financial community worry about the fallout of the unrest we've seen in the past few days. In some parts of Ukraine, there have been long queues of people rushing to withdraw cash. They want to protect their savings. Investors, there also seem to be growing increasingly nervous. Standard & Poor's has cut its credit rating of Ukraine by a notch. It also says further downgrades could be on the cards. The credit rater warns that the unrest could make it more difficult for Ukraine to service its debts. Ukraine is in dire need of money to stave off a default, and Russia has pledged to send a multi-billion-dollar lifeline. But the Russian government said this Friday that it's undecided on its next $2 billion installment. It says it wants further clarity from Kiev. Now, there has been a deal this Friday between the president and the opposition, and on the back of that agreement, the Ukrainian currency has stabilized and gained against the dollar. Earlier, I spoke to Lilith Gevorgian at IHS Global Insight in London, and she said the Ukraine must protect credibility in the longer term to get financial help.
Ukraine needs a functioning government, a government that any lender, including Russia, has to be confident about, to know who they're actually giving the money to. If they cannot come up with a lasting agreement, the agreement that lasts at least for a couple of months between the opposition and the government, and if the political chaos continues, this effectively means that Russia will probably not continue with its bond buying scheme, and IMF and EU would also be reluctant to throw out money without knowing who is in charge, and that will significantly increase the risk of default.
Lilith Gevorgian there in London. We're going to turn to corporate news next. The luxury company Kering was the biggest loser on France's main stock market index this Friday. Its full-year results slumped from $1 billion in 2012 to just $50 million last year. Kering blames a costly restructuring that's meant to refocus the group on high-end brands like Gucci. Julia Seeger has more.
Gucci launches its autumn-winter 2015 collection during Milan's Fashion Week, hoping it'll boost its sales. In the front row, actress Salma Hayek is sitting next to her husband François-Henri Pinault, the head of the French luxury group Kering, which owns the Italian brand. Although sales at Gucci have recently declined, the CEO says there's nothing to worry about. The high-end brand still represents more than half of Kering's sales.
The group is backed by strong brands and is well positioned to press ahead with our strategy. I'm confident that 2014 will see an improvement in overall revenue and operating profit.
The group says it's taking a strategic business turn and that its slowing growth is due to deep restructuring charges. In the last 12 months, Kering has withdrawn from its lower-end retailers, such as music and electronics retailer Fnac, and more recently the mail-order group La Redoute, sparking public outrage among French workers. Now Kering wants to focus all of its attention on its high-end brands, such as Yves Saint Laurent, Bottega Veneta or Boucheron. And Gucci is to remain its flagship brand. This strategy was implemented by the CEO Pinault when he took over from his father, who had originally created a broader retail business. And in 2013, two-thirds of Kering's sales came from its luxury division.
Let's take a quick look at the stock markets next. In the United States, the indices were in positive territory at first, but they ended below the flat line on Friday. This as investors digested some soft economic data, including lower home sales during the month of January in the United States. Let's also take a look at Europe and how European markets shut up shop on Friday. As you can see there, we saw some gains with the Paris CAC 40 gaining 0.6%. Let's talk you through a few other stories that we're following for you. A strike among security personnel has caused chaos at Frankfurt Airport, one of Europe's largest hubs. Security workers walked off the job demanding higher wages. Only 74 out of 1,300 flights were cancelled on Friday, but many planes left only partially filled. There simply weren't enough staff members to screen passengers. We're going to finish up with this. Japanese car maker Nissan is hoping that the Kingdom of Bhutan will help it sell more electric cars. Bhutan has signed a deal to acquire a fleet of electric vehicles from Nissan for an undisclosed figure. The car maker will also set up a network of charging stations to encourage regular consumers to buy zero-emission vehicles. The chief executive of the car maker Nissan says that he's hoping the Himalayan kingdom will become a showcase for green vehicles. We'll see if it catches on. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the business news and I'm going to throw it back to you, Claire.
Thanks very much for all of that. Marcus Carlson with all the business there. Now it's time for